just to reiterate what Dr. Lisa has said, we have fever clinics right around the country. There are 35 of them. They are posted on our Facebook and also the Ministry of the Government Facebook sites. And it's important for anyone who's having flu or fever to visit these clinics. Why? Because this is designated specifically for flu and fever. The health centers and the hospitals, they are carrying on with their normal task of looking after people with other diseases and also the other normative functions of the Ministry of Health. So please, the sites have been posted. The only change that will happen from tomorrow is in Waqainabete. It will not be in the multipurpose courts. It will be based out of the Fiji National Youth Band Center, which is about 200 meters from Waqainabete. The other thing that we just want to reiterate is that certainly with the equipment and also the staff and the resources that we have, we're very pleased that all preparations have been done all throughout the country. We have isolation units in every hospital, in every health center, the ability to be able to isolate someone that we feel may be of concern for COVID-19, but also more importantly that resources have been mobilized by government to be able to equip this. As the Honourable Prime Minister has alluded to, today about $1 million worth of PPEs have arrived as of yesterday into the country and being distributed as we speak. And these are the important investments that government has done, and certainly with the 40 million that's been given for the next 4 months will certainly help us to be able to prepare for the fight against COVID-19. Lastly, just to continue to express my thank yous and also the thank yous of the Ministry of Health and government for all those in Fiji who have been very responsible in being able to take the call, and also for the commissioners in the divisions who've been helping us in taking the communications down to the communities, the villages, and also the settlements with the help of the Minister of Itoke and also the Ministry of Regional Development. We're very thankful for all the hard work that's been done. Some of the divisions have actually, like the Western Division, have covered 100% of their target. The others are more than 90% through their target. They're hoping to finish it by tomorrow. We're very grateful for that. All the education, all the knowledge, and all the learning that's been put out is so important, but we need to practice. We need to do what's been instructed and also being advised so that we can break the chain of COVID-19. Is there any questions for the Ministry of Health?
As the PF has mentioned, we have tested over 330 people. Are there any testing progress at the moment? Are you awaiting any results?
Yes, certainly on a day-to-day basis, we have Fijians that come through and are tested. For example, yesterday there were about 23 Fijians that were tested, and none of them was positive. They were all negative, so we remained at 5. Today there's another group that's being tested, and the Fiji Center for Disease Control runs its testing program in the evening beginning at 6. So in a short while, or around about now, they'll begin testing. The testing itself takes about anywhere in between 4 to 8 hours, sometimes 6 hours, and then it goes through a validation process. So that's why the results come out the next day. Thank you.
Minister, can you explain, do you do tests twice on any of your patients? We are getting information that some of the people you have in isolation, you test when they just get in and then you test a few days later. Can you explain?
We only test those who are symptomatic, and those who are positive, they are then tested twice. That's the protocol that's in place. So only those who are symptomatic and have connection with being overseas as of recent, or being direct contact with the 2 imported cases, those are the ones that are tested. But also, as I've alluded to, when they are tested, it's in the stage of their symptoms. But also, more importantly, if there is a positive case, that's actually tested again to validate that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Correct from ABC. I have 2 quick questions and 1 clarification. How many tests do you conduct on a daily basis? Would you be able to have an average number of that? And also, with regards to people coming in from overseas recently, is there a mandatory quarantine procedure that when they come in, they will be based in London until after 14 days? And also,
can I begin with those 2 questions?
Yeah.
So what happens is, before they get off the plane, one of the doctors actually boards the plane and talks to them about what is expected of them, the expectations of the Ministry of Health, and government as a whole, because we want to prevent COVID-19 spreading through the country. They are given the health declaration card in which they fill it out. And in the health declaration card, they have a takeaway portion. And now, as the Honourable Prime Minister said, we now put them in government-designated and funded quarantine facilities where the health personnel will be visiting them on a regular basis to see if they have any symptoms. And if they have, then we take it from there in terms of testing. This is all done to make sure that, we're keeping an eye on them. Obviously, there's a significant amount of government resources that is put across to be able to put them in government-funded quarantine facilities. But we are very thankful that that's been budgeted for, appropriated for. And we believe as a government and also as the Minister of Health that this is the best way to be able to look after them. Now, we have got a considerable number of the population that have returned from overseas. They need to adhere to the quarantine or expectations that are there for the 14 days. As the Honourable Prime Minister has alluded to, the enforcement is now in place with the Public Health Act and the revision around COVID-19, and the penalties have increased dramatically. So now it's up to 5 years imprisonment and or $10,000 fine. Thank you. Last question.
Just one last question. Is it too early and is it safe to say that with no confirmed cases in the past few days that the virus has been contained?
At the moment, it's too early. We are very grateful that our curve seems to be flattening. And we all have to play our part to keep the curve flattening and then hopefully go down. As I've alluded to before, and the Honourable Prime Minister and also Dr. Alicia, no country in the world with how good its health system can say that it has all it has to be able to fight COVID-19. They're breaking. All countries have breaking points in their health system. And that is important to understand, because initially, when COVID-19 was talked about, there was a lot of people who actually rubbished Fiji's health system, which really disappoints me. Because now we will all see for sure that even the best health system struggles. And I'm telling you today, we have a health system that is resilient, that is robust, and in the measles outbreak, no children in this country died. And we've done it before, and I know we can do it again. And we need the people to be able to believe in the health system, to be able to believe the advice that's being given, and we can do this together. Thank you.